Hey everyone, this is Rachel, and today I'm here with a new scrapbooking process video. Thanks so much for joining me here, and I hope you enjoy. If you could flick me a thumbs up, that would be super awesome, and I would love it if you would become a subscriber. You can also click on the notification bell so you always know when I have a new video up. Alright folks, let's get going! Hey everyone, and welcome to Stash Bash with Rachel and Kelly, the series Kelly O'Black and I are doing where we're trying to dig deep into our scrapbooking stash. Kelly is still working hard, keeping her freeze going. I collapsed completely and bought all the things, but I'm still going to be working on digging deeper into my stash. Part of my stash isn't really old stash this particular month, but I really wanted to work with it. Now, Xanthi is joining us, so if the camera starts shaking, I apologize. That's my cat. So I'm not necessarily digging deep, but I'm breaking into things that I've been putting on, oh, it's too pretty to use. So I really wanted to break into that. So for this month, Kelly and I are doing kind of a recipe challenge. We both chose two things that need to be used on our layout. Kelly chose 3x4 cards and thickers. I chose a multicolor piece of paper and something with texture. So I am going to be working with the Willow line from One Canoe 2. Like I said, not a very old line, but something I bought last fall and have not touched. I didn't buy a huge amount of it, but I did want to break into it. And as for the texture, I'm bringing in some stencils and some Vicky Bouton rose gold glaze, as well as a couple of wood veneer. I haven't pulled a lot for this. I'm thinking about using this incredibly gorgeous piece of paper from the Willow collection, so I don't necessarily want to use a ton of embellishments simply because I don't want to cover up the gorgeousness of this page. Sorry, hiccup, apologize. All right, so before I put you guys into fast forward, I just want to say a couple things. First, if you could flick me a thumbs up, that would be super duper awesome. Also, don't forget to go into the description box below. There will be a link to Kelly's video. Also, I just want to say I hope everyone's doing well. I know it's a tough time for everyone, being stuck in the house and being stuck without being able to see family, and just having everyone's schedules interrupted is so frustrating and not what we really want to happen. So I hope you guys are enjoying these. I hope it brings you just a few minutes of not thinking about the annoying things and instead just concentrating on the creativity of life. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and get you guys put on fast forward. So let's get going. All right, I've got a little bit of a pause at the beginning of this. We are currently watching two different things. We are watching Beachfront Bargain Hunt Renovation, and we are also working our way through chronological order of all of the Marvel movies over the past 10 years, just in case you were wondering. So I'm going through, seeing what I have available. If you hear background noises, I apologize. Everyone is home all the time, and I only have so much time and ability to actually do this. I decide to map my photo on this tone-on-tone geometric pattern. Both of the papers I'm using are from the Willow collection. They are very soft and pretty, and for me it made sense to use them for this particular photo, which was taken in the waning days of summer. And it's not a fabulous photo. It was taken by a teenager who was standing with the sun behind them, and the sun was hitting the people in the face, along with some really harsh shadows. But it was an important part of the story I really wanted to tell about my nephew and his senior year. So, with the Vicky Bouton stencils, they do have binder holes in them, so I just go ahead and cover them up with washi tape because there is zero chance I won't accidentally put whatever type of medium I'm using with the stencil through those holes if I don't do that. I then use some purple tape. You can use painter's tape, you can use washi tape. If you use washi tape that's particularly strong, just make sure to have it, pop it on your jeans or your sweater a couple times just so it doesn't stick to the paper, and then rip it when it comes up. So I am using the rose gold glaze, and I'm just pushing it through the stencil using my whatchamacallit thing, a little scraper thingy. One thing I will say is if you are using any type of texture paste, whether it be a glaze or a molding paste or any type, immediately after you use it, go and wash it off in warm, soapy water. If you just rinse it with cold water, you will still end up having some stuff stuck. Now, I did have some colorization, but the bumpy stuff came off, and it's really important that you do that right away. Now, I use Stampin' Up! Dimensionals, and there is a ring around them, so I just pulled that ring off as part of popping my photo up on Dimensionals, and then I used used Dimensionals for the rest of it. My layout, the 12 by 12 background is not dry yet, so I am just kind of doing a mock-up of what my 12 by 12 layout will be. I have a journaling card, 3x4 card, which is part of our recipe. I also have that one that says, wherever you go, go with all your heart. And I thought that was apropos of the subject of my layout. Now, that last card came from a Hip Kit grab bag I got, and I've always liked it. I don't know if it's a quote or just a saying. It says, "It was a good year, so much happened. There were such great, unforgettable memories. Can't believe it's over." And then it says, ... embrace. Now, this originally came in a December kit, so it was talking about like the end of the year. In this particular case, the layout I'm making is about, this was the last high school graduation party my nephew went to the year he graduated high school, so last year. And this is his group of friends that were his group of friends, that was like his group, the whole his school was a middle school, high school combined, so they went to school together for 7 years. So this was his core group of friends for those 7 years. And this was the last party they all went to together. I think a couple of them went to another graduation party. This party was in August. It was right before they were all headed off to college. It was right before their lives significantly changed. So I wanted to mark this photo, even though it's a terrible photo, it's a really important story. So that quoted card that I trimmed off the top because I didn't think the little triangles went with it, and I also trimmed it into a banner piece. I'm also at some point going to glue it down higher than what it is now, so it's not, the banner piece is not so close to where the mixed media is, actually right there. So the whole point of this is I wanted a 3x4 card that had room for quite a bit of journaling. And then when I found that wherever you go, go with all your heart card, I thought that kind of also spoke with the frame of mind I had for this layout. And now from this thicker word grouping, and I don't remember what line this came out with, but it is very similar to that rose gold. It's a little more orange, but with the colors in the background, I thought it went well. And I like the idea of the mixing of the metals once again. So my title is going to be Together Today, because I was talking about the importance of these friendships, and that even though they're going to change, especially in today's world where we have the ability to keep in touch digitally, whether it be through video chats or texts and group chats and all sorts of things that we didn't have when I graduated high school or anything like that. Also to the layout, I added those little, they always remind me of like stars, explosions, I guess would be the best thing I can think of. But I added those to tie the title into the rest of the layout. And then the wood veneer cameras are going to be really my only embellishments. As I said, even though obviously I covered it up with some cards and some mixed media, I wanted to have quite a bit of that background piece showing. So as to our recipe, I have the multicolored piece of pattern paper. I have the texture added both with the molding paste as well as the wood veneer. I have 3 3x4 cards I'm using, and the title I am using thicker words. Well, it didn't necessarily say thicker words, but thickers. So all of my check boxes by my recipe ingredients have been checked off. One final thing I am going to do is add a bit of spattering, and I don't have a rose gold in pink in liquid form. What I do have is this rose gold acrylic paint from Vicky Bouton. So I squished a little bit onto my waffle flower mini mixed media mat, which I got recently, and then watered it down. And then using a round brush, paintbrush, can't remember a paintbrush, I'm going to go ahead and spatter. Now, especially on that embrace card up in the top left-hand corner, I really wanted to weather that out. It was very white in comparison with the rest of the layout, so I did spatter quite heavily onto that. And that will complete my layout. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Do not forget to head into the description box and check out Kelly's take on this recipe for Stash Bash with Kelly and Rachel, for Stash Bash with Rachel and Kelly. Oh my goodness, thank you guys so much. Bye everyone.